Welcome, everybody. Welcome, all you Drangir and Shield Maidens, to tonight's episode of Dropping the Hammer. I'm your host, WarHammer. Now, I had a lot of things going on this week, and I was originally going to watch my first match. I think I have done this on podcast, but I was going to watch my first match that I had. My first debut solo match with TD Shepard in League of Lions, but was scrolling through some old videos and I found another video that I wanted to watch. It was just a fun match, but in watching it back, I was able to see several things that I've noticed. A lot, a lot to do with how my character, my gear, or even myself has transitioned throughout the years. So, what I'd like to do is watch that match. I'll kind of go over it and the spots that I kind of, you know, that I chose a couple spots, and that's really all I did. Most of this was Cory Summers, someone I had look up to, someone I admire in the locker room, someone I worked with inside the ring, outside the ring at a job. worked with him mowing yards. He's running a lawn company, so something we could talk about all day. While we were at work, driving to and from location to location, we had this match worked out. As soon as we heard about it, so we're going to watch that, but just wanted to, check up with a couple of things. So, now that I'm thinking about it, I've been wearing my special bracelet with granditerite, and as long as I've been wearing it, I've been kind of confused and like almost going high speed without any traction. Like that's all I can think of is, man, it's almost like my gears are spinning. And so we also I got my I got my supplements back again. I'm back on everything. It's to me, it's not just a placebo effect. It's not just I know I'm taking it so I feel better. It's these things make me feel better. I've been off of one for a little bit. I was off of another one for about a week or so. Just needed to order some more. It's so it's functional mushrooms. But it's a daily gummy that I've been taking along with another gummy. But I'm trying to get into a routine of better health, better everything. That was the hydrogen flask. That's the multivitamins that I take from GNC. Like everything, I'm trying to build a better body. Even this right here, people keep asking me, just like the commercials, hey man, what's that thing? Did you break your nose? Anybody who's been on this podcast, watching and listening knows I've broken it in the ring a couple times on top of everything else. So just to, demonstrate this nostril. Sorry, I need to do this. See how that nose, that side of my nostril collapses. Now we'll just so I cannot breathe out of this nostril. This is the only one that's got function, and it's not correct. So when I put this on, if you just watch, I don't know what side. We'll do this. But you see how much that keeps my nose. I can just breathe better. But was at Brookshire's the other day and happened to bump into a boss guy who works higher up in the city, and recognizes me. A little freaked out, but he comes over and starts talking to me and asking me about my nose strip, and he tells me that he got the balloon. I don't know what you call it, balloon sinoplasty. That's the only thing I know is sinoplasty, but rhinoplasty is the shape. Septoplasty is the functionality, from what I understand. But now they just shove giant balloons in your nose, and that's where I'm headed. But he's going to give me some information about his doctor where he had got it done previously. He's going to forward my information along. So if I can get my nose fixed, oh man, that alleviates many problems, my sleep apnea and my face, my bags under my eyes, the swelling. I've been wearing these constantly to work, after work. So the bags are lighter, but it's not right. I know it's not right. My face is not right. It's great. It's great for kicking, I guess, because got a lot of a lot of photos of me just getting my face rocked. But we're building a better body. We're trying to balance the inside and the outside, because I've always treated my body like a rental car, and I certainly didn't buy the insurance, and I'm suffering from it. Nothing major, but had I listened to people who were trying to talk to me and tell me the better ways, maybe we'd be in a better shape. But nobody listens when they're young. All right. Well, we'll talk some more, but I wanted to get into this match, and like I said, was a fun match for me. I really liked working Cory, one of my favorites. Man, his elbows suck though. Like, he throws so many forearms and elbows. I do remember my whole face was swollen, both sides, left and right. So we're gonna get into it. Now this is certainly heel Summers. Always been a fan. He's part of the ones who matter. He's just fun to watch. He was very entertaining. He's very good at his craft. So we leaned into his heel gimmick here. Now it's supposed to be heel at the time, I'm pretty sure. I don't really remember, but I'm just so over it. It didn't matter. Physique wise, this is some of the best I'd ever looked. I'm pretty sure I was in training, twice a week, lifting weights, taking care of everything. But this was, 4 years ago. So a lot has gone on. Broke the hammer, rebuilt the hammer, changed music. Now I called for that. I planned that. That was what I called for, just to gain sympathy, make him look bad. Everybody knows that's my entrance. Everybody knows that's what I do. So that was a perfect way to, start. Jake Manley. Miss my boy Manley, who moved on to Philadelphia. Now, watching this back, like I'm wearing tape on my wrist for the colors before I got wristbands and everything. Also got black boot laces, so that was before I changed those. But the mohawks, that's ow. I was definitely at some of the lightest I've been. Probably 175, 180, 200 now. So, I mean, it's not much difference, but I can see it when I'm only in my underwear. And this right here, it's almost like they kind of fall off of it. My bootlaces keep coming undone. The elbows. I will say that's my boy Devin that you can hear. He was my social media manager for a little bit. We were working on some things. But just great work from Cory. Like he's getting the sympathy. Like I said, I'm just over, but he's getting the crowd invested in me. Everything I take, it's just adding to it. They want me to fight back. I'm still in it, but each punch and then back to the elbows. Always film from the back. It was a little dirty on the pickup. That was on me. I just tied those laces and they're already coming off again. This is not there. Great cheap heat. Laces out again. Chops are much better now. This is what I was working on that Scandinavian Nightmare, Scandinavian Driver. I don't know what you want to call it. Time to Wasted Again. And I called this as the ending. I don't know if we executed it as well as I had hoped, but now submission finishes were not a thing, are not a thing this league. So that was one of the few times it was fun. But to me, that was necessary to kind of get the story over and establish that match. I enjoyed that match, even if I got my ass kicked. Just working with one of my buddies, one of the people I idolized, makes it worthwhile. Now, that was, like I said, early on in my gear. You can see the labels on my knee pads and everything. You can still see the white labels. Now you can't. They've been rubbed off. They've been flaked off. Now they're torn. They're stretched. Nothing fits. Everything's well used, well worn, but it definitely shows you the transition in my look today versus then. Coming out with Iron Belly, when we come out with hammers and furs and armors and all this, it adds to the ambiance. I've started carrying the mask and the cloak. Just back then it was hammer and shield, and that was it. The Mohawks came, and then I started to add the spice. Now it is it's a solid gimmick. Everybody understands it from Curtin. I've spent a lot of time outside of the ring developing my character. With what it is today, it's not even how I started. Like I said, it's a night and day difference, but this is more what I envisioned back then. Just wasn't able to get it all together. So that was 7/22. It's now 3/1. So it's almost 4 years to the date. And that's even before Iron Belly. Like, I hadn't even met Iron Belly yet. So things progressed from there really quickly. And I'm proud to say I've learned a lot and I've done better. So thank you, everybody who has played a part in making WarHammer better. All my trainers, all the other opponents, partners, everybody I laced boots up with. Thank you. I also want to thank everybody for tuning in this week. Still trying to get that interview with Gluttony and Rika nailed down, but busy gentlemen. And when we do get to sit down, it'll probably be another long interview. So be sure to tune in for that. what what I'm trying different things. Tonight I had to redo everything on this, so we're learning how it's done. But you know where to follow me. You know all my social medias. I'm on Rumble. I'm on Instagram. I'm on TikTok. I'm not on TikTok as much right now. I'm trying to get back on it. YouTube, Facebook, all of it. WarHammer, Sons of Plunder. You know where to find us. But again, thanks for tuning in. Be sure to hammer that like button. Share this with your friends. And tune in next week. We'll talk again. Hopefully we'll have that interview. Good night, everybody.